Lastly, we're working with a new innovator in the space, Augtera, that has machine learning for network performance management. And with our work with them, I'm going to put a chart up here for you where the network is reporting how it's behaving. And as a human, I look at the pattern and I turn around and say, yeah, everything looks normal, I can go home for the weekend. But for those paying really close attention, there's a red dot on the furthest right of that graph. That is where the Augtera algorithms have figured out the network is no longer behaving as normal. And I've had some good debates with some colleagues over at Augtera to say, really? How do you figure this out right now? Like, how is this? But this is mathematically provable, but the network is not figured out right now, and this is from real data. And it says there 9 days. Augtera figured it out. Augtera automatically opened a ticket saying, there's something wrong with the network. But in reality, the customer, didn't go down this path. They watched it for another couple of days. And over the next 3 days, the network just continued to degrade until it actually had a major incident. So the machine knew. The machine just is constantly watching the network, everything that it's reporting for 9 days. A human will look at that chart every once in a while. The machine knew what happened in 9 days. The machine turned around, reported it along the course of 3 days until it occurred. And the net of this is, 3 days advance notice that you have a problem coming. Inside the problem, yes, we're seeing it here to the outage. Operations could have addressed this issue at any point, at any one of those red dots prior to the severe outage. And the application, the service, whatever had to be delivered to the network was successfully delivered to the network without the outage. The heading on the slide earlier that I skipped over unintentionally was, we would call this predictive network management. I'm not reacting to the outage. I'm behaving based on seeing it. And I went to look for it, and I couldn't find it, but I believe it was GE Aviation had a commercial where there's a couple of mechanics sitting underneath an airplane engine. GE Aviation comes up, and the mechanics say, hey, we didn't call you. And the guy was like, no, the engine did. This is what AI and rich telemetry can start to give us inside of our network operations and maybe close that gap with security operations.